Most traders review their best weeks looking for patterns to repeat. They study the winners, analyze the setups that worked, and try to bottle that feeling of being in flow. But your worst trading week, the one where you abandoned your plan, forced trades, or let emotion take over, that's where the real growth lives. Because winning weeks often hide execution errors that compound later. Bad weeks expose the exact gap between your plan and what you actually do under pressure. The paradox is that success can blind you. When you're winning, it's easy to skip over the trades where you got lucky, entered early, or held longer than your rules allowed. The market rewarded you anyway, so you file it away as validation. But those small deviations are building a habit of trusting your impulse more than your process. And when the market shifts, that habit doesn't just cost you one trade. It costs you weeks of discipline you thought you had. Your worst week, on the other hand, is diagnostic. It shows you exactly where your plan breaks down. Was it boredom after 3 hours of no setups? Was it overconfidence after 2 quick wins that made you size up on the third? Was it fear after a losing streak that kept you out of valid entries? The market doesn't create these problems. It reveals them. And once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. That's where real change begins. Most traders treat bad weeks like something to forget, to move past, to stay positive about. But the best traders do the opposite. They do the weekend autopsy. They ask uncomfortable questions, not just what did I lose, but where did I abandon my plan, and why did that feel necessary in the moment? That second question is the one that matters, because the moment you deviate, you're solving for something, usually discomfort, boredom, or the need to feel in control. Identifying what you were solving for tells you what to prepare for next time. There's a difference between a strategy problem and a psychological problem, but they often look the same on the surface. If your plan isn't clear, if your rules are vague or situational, then hesitation isn't a discipline issue, it's a system issue. But if your plan is clear and you still override it, that's psychological. And that's what your worst weeks reveal. They show you whether you need better rules or better self-awareness. Both matter, but you can't fix one by working on the other. The traders who grow the fastest aren't the ones who avoid bad weeks. They're the ones who extract the most from them. They build what you might call a deviation database. Every time they break a rule, they log it. Not with judgment, but with curiosity. What was the trigger? What was the internal narrative? What did they believe in that moment that made the deviation feel justified? Over time, patterns emerge, and patterns can be interrupted. That's the shift from reactive trading to responsive trading. You stop being surprised by your own behavior and start predicting it. This process isn't comfortable. It requires you to replay the trades you'd rather forget. It means looking at the moment you went on tilt, chased a move, or talked yourself out of a setup that later worked perfectly without you. But discomfort is the price of awareness, and awareness is the only thing that makes Monday different from last Monday. Without it, you're not improving. You're just repeating the same week with different price action. The best part about this approach is that it takes the pressure off perfection. You're not trying to never have a bad week again. You're building a system that learns from bad weeks faster. That's a completely different goal. One is impossible and exhausting. The other is achievable and compounding. Every time you identify a deviation pattern, you add a checkpoint to your process. And over time, those checkpoints become automatic. You start noticing the feeling before the mistake, not after. So if you're reviewing your week right now and it didn't go the way you planned, don't rush past it. Sit with it. Look at the moments where you knew what to do and didn't do it. Those moments aren't failures. They're data. And data is what separates the traders who hope to improve from the traders who actually do. Your best week taught you what's possible. Your worst week teaches you what's necessary. And it's the second lesson that builds careers.